today we are going to be talking about, it's Tuesday, we're going to be talking a little bit about a health issue, and that is caregivers for those who are in need of that, whether it be yourself, your parent, or a child. So I want to remind everybody to download the app at your favorite app store, or you can log in to urbanbroadcastmedia.com and listen in. And you're going to want to do that today, as my caller, Ms. Rhea Steele, will have to call in. I'm sorry, my guest, Ms. Rhea Steele, will have to call in today. So you're going to want to either have the app or log into urbanbroadcastmedia.com so that you can hear what she is saying when she is talking. I will be trying to reiterate what it is that she's saying so that you can hear her well. But you can also, should you want to call and have a question or give a comment, please write the number down, 312-754-4333 is where you can call in. And of course, we're all over social media. UBM is on Facebook, has its own YouTube page. I have the Bertina Power and the Empower Hour on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and of course on Facebook. So be sure to go there and like us at those pages. So as we know, the news that professionals are listening to, if you haven't heard, there were at least 3 that were killed and about 100 injured when an Amtrak train jumped the tracks in Washington State. 12 coaches of the Amtrak Cascade 501 on its inaugural run between Seattle and Portland derailed on a highway overpass during the Monday morning rush hour, National Transportation Safety Board officials said. The train was traveling 80 miles an hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. Although it is too early to tell why it was moving at such a high speed. The on-scene investigation will take about 7 to 10 days, according to the National Transportation Safety Board. You can share your thoughts, if you want, by hashtagging Amtrak derailment. The House of Representatives is expected to vote on a final tax bill Tuesday afternoon, Reuters reports. If it passes, the joint legislation would then go to the Senate, where Republicans say they've secured enough votes for the $1.5 trillion tax overhaul. Senators Susan Collins and Mike Lee expressed support for the bill on Monday. Arizona's Jeff Flake is the only Republican senator who has yet to publicly back the plan. Lawmakers hope to get the legislation to President Trump's desk by Christmas. And you can share your thoughts with regards to that at hashtag tax reform. Now, if you've got a new job or you have been looking to seek for a new job, know this, that the employers are pumping up their perks. Overall compensation is growing at the fastest rate in 2 years, but wages aren't what's driving that growth, says the Wall Street Journal. Instead, companies are boosting benefits, increasing spend on perks such as paid leave, which is up 5% from a year earlier, retirement plans, which are up 11.2%, and insurance, of course, up 3.5%. These sweeping compensation packages help businesses attract talent, explains the journal, as U.S. unemployment hovers at a 17-year low. And if you want to conversate on that or share your thoughts, that's hashtag employee perks. Now, North Korea is directly responsible for the WannaCry cyber attack, the Trump administration said. Quote, "We do not make this allegation lightly," Homeland Security Advisor Tom Burser wrote in the Wall Street Journal. He is expected to release a formal statement today. WannaCry, which infected more than 300,000 computers in 150 countries earlier this year, has been linked to the Lazarus Group, a hacking entry that works on behalf of the North Korean government, a White House official told CNBC. You can share your thoughts at WannaCryNK if you like to there. Now, longtime ESPN president John Skipper abruptly resigned to seek treatment for a, quote, a substance addiction, according to a statement. Former chief Bodenheimer will serve as the acting chairman while the sports network searches for the skipper's replacement. The ESPN leader joined the company in 1997 and helped launch ESPN the magazine. He took over as president in 2012. Skipper's successor will have plenty to tackle, including shrinking subscribers numbers, recent layoffs, and Disney 21st Century Fox interrogations, and the launch of streaming service ESPN Plus. If you want to share your thoughts about that, that is hashtag Skipper Steps Down. Now there's an idea of the day. Want to get stuff done? Stop telling yourself you can't. That's one of Radiant CEO and Bloomberg anchor Betty Liu's 3 pieces of advice for upcoming productivity. Negative self-talk, such as, I can't do this, or I don't have time, keeps you from accomplishing tasks that very well would be within your grasp. She said that I took myself out of the running doing many things, and it wasn't because I truly had no time, it's because I was really afraid of failing. And I think you all have heard me here say this numerous times, that most of the time it is that 4-letter word, fear, that keeps you from moving forward. I also want to take this time because those that are watching today, they will notice that I'm double dutying today. Today I'm representing 2 of my organizations, and that is the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, as always. But then I'm adding the Jack and Jill chapter of Chicago that I'm also a member of representing today, because I want to personally thank not only them, but those members and everybody who collectively gathered about 100 brand new toys. And that was so that we can give them in the name of my youngest son, Hayden, to Comer Children's Hospital. So brand new toys. We dropped them off this morning so that I'll post pictures on Facebook so that you can see. And thank you to all the moms and the prospective new moms that brought out these gifts and items so that we can give them to the children when they're in the hospital. So when they're in the hospital, they're there for days, they've had surgery and what have you, and then, they need something to do or to interact or to play in the toys and the games. So cards and dolls and all kinds of things. They gave such just an elaborate set of gifts. So I just wanted to thank everybody for that publicly today. And as this is the season of giving and everything that is going around, I want to remind everybody that Reverend House was on my show a couple of weeks back, and he's the one that runs a homeless shelter center on 110th in Indiana. And I just want to remind everybody that obviously this is the time that they are in more need for toiletries, clothing, for both men, women, and children that can be delivered and taken right to the church. They are open 24 hours. They are open 24 hours, and that they will have somebody to be able to come and take that for you. So now my caller that is calling in is actually my guest. And so after we take this quick break, we're going to come back and talk to Miss Rhea Steele. And we're going to be talking about, although Rhea has 30 years in the technology business, she is now facing with her family her mother having Alzheimer's. And we're going to talk about being a caregiver for your parents, your children, and yourself when we come right back from these messages. This is Bertina Power, and you're listening to Empower Hour. Hey, everybody. Hey, Cam. It's actually a sweater. She's like, I love the jacket. Thank you. It's a sweater. Hey, Ram. Hey, Devin. Hey, Tamiko. Hey, Arthur. Hey, Deborah and Rachel. And in the studio on the phone, though, talking to Rhea. Hello, Rhea. How are you? I'm good. Thanks for joining us today to talk about such a subject that we know a lot of families are faced with, and that we're going to talk about how, specifically in the African American community, we wind up neglecting seeking help when the signs should be evident, but they really aren't. We're in denial and we're ignoring them, right? Okay, so let's first let everybody get a chance to know a little bit more about who you are, Rhea. Now, you are a seasoned business executive, and you've got, what, more than 30 years in the technology industry? You're welcome. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, this is true, Rhea, and I have had several people on, and some part of that is that it also extends your business, and you will then grow and be more successful, and you're really not ready for that either. Mm-hmm. You said September? No, no, Rhea, you mean December? Oh, September 2018. Oh, okay, gotcha. September 2018. Gotcha. So 27th and 28th for your tech conference. Is that what it is? I just. Uh huh. Mm-hmm. So if you're the only child, then more than likely that is you. But if you have a couple of siblings, then one has tends to be, depending sometimes on the parent. For the father, it might be a different child, different from the mother. But in turns, it's either something about the connection or the relationship, or how they feel the individual is with the responsibility of it all, right? Because no, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Right. 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 And that's a good question that you're asking, or a good issue that winds up being a situation when I am the one child, or or the parent, if I'm taking care of the children, that then winds up being the one that carries all of that responsibility. I don't want to use the word burden, but just the responsibility. And then it's like, well, wait a minute, you all have free time and you can do this and you can surely do that. But then, you know, like you said, I think is that having one central location, the doctor said, right? So if I've got to call somebody, or if I'm expecting a call about medication issues or whatever, there's one person that I'm beginning to develop a relationship with. Is that become part of it? Okay, so let's back up a little bit before we go too far. We're gonna, you know, the caring for seniors, not just Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's comes with its own thing, right? Because you're talking to and trying to continue a relationship with your parent and they don't remember things.